sacred ritual. Despite these religious rites, the Aztecs still feared the return of Quetzalcoatl. Using stone calendars like this, soothsayers calculated the dates on which he might return. He was expected to reappear in 1363 or 1467. But those years passed without incident. The astrologers predicted a new time for his coming on the date marked on their calendar by this symbol, 1 Reed. The day was April 22nd, 1519. They also said that he would come from the east in a magic boat, that his complexion would be white, but that he would be clothed in black. The prediction was fulfilled in every detail, not by the god Quetzalcoatl, but by a man, Hernan Cortez. By an incredible quirk of coincidence, Cortez stepped onto the shore of Mexico on the exact date predicted for the return of Quetzalcoatl, April 22nd, 1519. Over his armor, he was wearing a black robe because it was Good Friday. Within 2 years, Cortez, with 400 Spanish conquistadores, conquered and destroyed the entire Aztec nation. Quetzalcoatl had his revenge. Believe it or not.
You can buy. Visine is the only one recommended by pharmacists 4-to-1 over any other brand. Visine's formula gives you 100% of the relief you need. Visine, it gets the ring out.
Sure, I have secrets. Of course, some are juicier than others. Like my secret for onion burgers. Lipton Recipe Secrets Onion. A delicious blend of toasted onion and seasonings. Lipton Recipe Secrets. I'm a better cook with it than without it.
Sure, I love Dow's Smart Scrub. It rinses clean without the gritty residue. But what they need is a bleach formula for stains. Oh, never mind.
Presenting new Smart Scrub Cleanser with bleach.
Smart enough to clean up after itself.
Got something different for your sensitive teeth.
Well, you can take it back. My dentist wants me to use Sensodyne.
This is Sensodyne. Sensodyne with baking soda.
No pain. My mouth feels fresh and clean.
Sensodyne with baking soda. All you feel is fresh and clean.
For 15 years, Harry Tasker's been leading a double life.
Hi, it's Helen. Is he in? Harry's in a sales meeting, Mrs. Tasker.
He's protected the country. He's faced the enemy. But when his wife finds out,
Harry!
Who's going to protect him? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis.
What can I say? I'm a spy.
True Lies. Buy your copy today before it slips away.
What do you want?
Something home-baked that's big and fluffy and moist, with lots of real chocolate, or luscious swirls of raspberry.
Surprise me.
No one gives you the snack you want, like Duncan Hines' big new raspberry muffins, or big chocolate chip muffins.
Muffins?
The biggest lineup of muffins you can get from a mix. As easy to bake as they are to take. Duncan Hines, hot stuff.
There's only one cure for swamp fever.
I want to help you.
The Sci-Fi Channel Swamp Thing Marathon. Monday at 9 a.m. 6 Pacific.
You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not on the Sci-Fi Channel.
What in the world? Dad took it when you walked me to school that first day, remember? It's amazing you didn't hate me forever for making you wear those galoshes.
You've always tried to protect me, Mom.
That's why I bought that extra life insurance. When Dad died, I found out a funeral can cost over $6,000. I never want to leave that kind of burden on you.
If you're a man or woman between the ages of 45 and 75, the Mutual of Omaha companies have a guaranteed life insurance plan that fits you perfectly. It can cost you as little as 29 cents a day, and it's guaranteed in 5 ways. Your payments will never increase. Your benefits will never decrease. There are no health questions. You don't even have to take a physical. You can't be turned down, and it can't be canceled, ever. Call toll-free for your free information. There's no risk or obligation. Call now, 1-800-932-9492. Operators are available. Call now, 1-800-932-9492.
Finding something good by accident that you weren't looking for is called serendipity. That's what happened back in 1928 to an English biologist named Sir Alexander Fleming. He was conducting some experiments in small dishes like these, using minute quantities of a bacterium called Staphylococcus aureus. It was one of many experiments going on in the laboratory at the same time. The sample became contaminated. Normally, in such a situation, Fleming would have aborted the experiment and started over, fresh. He didn't, and that's when serendipity came in. Fleming examined the dish carefully. He noted that the bacteria had been killed by what had contaminated the dish, a green mold. He studied it, isolated it, named it. The green mold that Sir Alexander Fleming found, by chance growing in the dish, turned out to be an amazingly effective antibiotic that has saved millions of lives. Penicillin, a scientific breakthrough by accident. In Australia, a search for another breakthrough has inspired hope in the parents of some children with Down syndrome. Mark Thompson is one of those children and shares with all of them the characteristic features and mental retardation associated with the genetic disease. The enlarged, protruding tongue is one of the most obvious visual effects that accompany Down syndrome. Although physically active, Mark's social acceptance is hindered by his speech and his appearance.
Oh, you're frozen, are you?
Dr. Leo Rosner describes the problem in a meeting with Mark's parents.
This picture shows the large tongue, which is known medically as macroglossia. It's larger than the normal tongue because it reaches the point of the chin, whereas the normal tongue only goes about halfway over the chin.
A decision to operate in order to reduce the size of Mark's tongue was made after discussions with his parents and tests to determine his suitability. Corrective surgery on Down syndrome children, though controversial, is being performed in several countries today. Critics of such surgery warn of unrealistic expectations that may follow, since the operation does not affect the child's mental retardation. However, Dr. Rosner believes his work may enable a small percentage of these children to become productive members of society. Long-term results have yet to be determined. The chance remains, however, that such operations may permit children like Mark to develop to their maximum potential.
Stick your tongue out, pal, all the way. Hey, that's pretty good. Is that as far as you can go? Right, now put it back again. Close your mouth. That's good too. Now, will you say lolly for me?
Lolly.
The search for ways to make life a little easier for the impaired has been aided by space-age developments which make it possible for a mechanical hand to be powered by minute electrical impulses generated within the muscles of the arm. In Germany, Dr. Hannes Schmiedel has created the Neuro-electrical hand.
Speichert durch eine wiederaufladbare Nickel-Cadmium-Batterie, die hier...
Before an amputee can use the artificial hand effectively, he must master many of the almost 4,000 movements of which the human hand is capable. Hours of practice are necessary to learn to move the right muscles to just the right degree for perfect control. Supersensitive contact points transfer power from the muscles to the mechanism of the hand. The sensors detect the discharge of electricity present in all muscle movement, an impulse as small as 1/1,000,000th of a volt. The advantage for the wearer is that the arm is under the control of his own brain and nervous system. It moves in response to thought, which the device translates into precisely controlled movements. A man who lost his arm in an accident is able to resume his former job. Movements requiring a delicate touch and fast reflexes are now within his grasp. All three of these men are double amputees, yet with their new artificial limbs, they are able once again to enjoy one of life's most pleasant and necessary activities. Scientific breakthroughs, like the neuro-electrical hand, hold out the promise of a better life for many in the foreseeable future. Another medical breakthrough, the transfusion of blood, has saved millions of lives. The value of human blood is well known, yet its life-saving potential can be destroyed by one simple fact. Soon after it is collected, some of its cells spoil and become poisonous. Whole blood can't be kept for long, even under refrigeration. Blood banks could not be created until that critical problem was solved. In the late 1930s, a young black surgeon and teacher from Howard University named Dr. Charles R. Drew turned his attention to the problem. His solution was to remove the solid cells before the blood spoiled. This is blood plasma, the fluid that remains when the solid matter separates and is taken out. Dr. Drew analyzed it and proved that in many cases, this plasma can be used in place of this, whole red blood. And unlike whole blood, plasma can be stored for months and shipped anywhere. Because of blood banks like the one he set up for the American Red Cross in 1941, Drew's discovery is still saving lives in every country of the world. But shortly after his blood bank began its work on the eve of World War II, the United States Armed Forces made a startling announcement. Blood donated by black men and women would not be accepted for use. Drew pointed out there was no basis in science for such a prejudiced decision and resigned his post. He was right, of course. And now, no such segregation exists. But the inescapable fact remains that for a while, the armed forces would not accept the blood of any black person. And that included the blood of Dr. Drew himself, the man whose discovery made the program possible. Believe it or not. In England, in 1652, ordinary coffee was once advertised as a cure for gout and scurvy. Believe it or not.
Buying life insurance can be confusing, but Globe's long life insurance is designed to provide the extra coverage that many of us need. It's simple and easy to understand.
It's a $10,000 guaranteed renewable policy, and applying for coverage is easy.
The policy features a level $10,000 benefit that can never be reduced and can never be canceled.
Plus, the full $10,000 benefit is available from the first day your policy is approved. And right now, you can start a long life policy for $1. $1 pays the premium for the first month. And after that, your premiums are based on your age when your policy is issued.
Globe makes buying life insurance simple and easy. So call Globe today. Here you are.
To receive complete information and applications by return mail, call Globe at 1-800-638-9090. Call Globe today.
It happens in the hospital. It happens at home. When heartburn flares up, the #1 choice of hospitals is fast-acting Maalox. Hospitals can count on it for speed, and that's just what you need. Maalox, the first choice for hospitals, the fast choice for home.
So rich and creamy.
Say, Grandpa.
So lightly baked.
Grandpa.
No wonder no other cracker melts like a Ritz.
Mommy?
Ritz melts so good.
This is the only face that I've got, so I'm going to take care of it for the long run. The trick is being smart about the sun. It's not always convenient to have a big sombrero.
Up to 90% of all visible signs of aging can come from daily UV exposure. Oil of Olay Daily UV Protectant. SPF protection, Olay moisture, helping prevent premature skin aging now and in the future.
It's not vanity. It is necessary. In 10 years, my face is going to thank me.
A lifetime of beautiful skin. Oil of Olay Daily UV Protectant.
You are entering the universe of Sci-Fi Entertainment, the official magazine of the Sci-Fi Channel. Call 1-800-77-SCI-FI for movie and series info, interviews, news and reviews on videos, books, and technology. It's your only source for the Sci-Fi schedule, movie listings, and channel exclusives. Test your mental metal. Call 1-800-77-SCI-FI. Get 6 issues of Sci-Fi Entertainment for only $15.95. Have your Visa or MasterCard ready. Welcome to the Edge.
Mark Hamill and Ray Dawn Chong star in a Sci-Fi Channel premiere feature. Time Runner, Saturday at 4, 1 Pacific.
Somewhere inside this unique Army laboratory in Hanover, New Hampshire, it is always deep winter. The temperature in the room behind this door is kept at 25 below zero Fahrenheit. Now that's so cold that when warm air from the outside gets into it, it condenses suddenly and forms snow. An indoor snowfall. This room is a kind of museum for ice. They've got ice here from Alaska, ice from Greenland, even ice from Antarctica. It may all look the same to the untrained eye, but there are over 70 different types. Now this is glacial ice. It can tear through a ship's hull like paper. Studying the different types helps engineers cope with the problems they cause. Ice can also be a window to the past. This core, pulled from a thick sheet 600 miles from the South Pole, began to form nearly 100,000 years ago. Year after freezing year, the layers piled up. And this is ash from a volcano that erupted in about 18,000 BC. It was blown into the air and landed on this ice when this was still an exposed surface. Scientists will use it to make calculations about the inside of the Earth and the way the weather was all those millennia ago. Created by fire, held captive by ice. Ice, its forms and its effects have proven to be complex and fascinating. In northern China, the coming of winter creates a playground. For artisans in the city of Harbin,
Winter also creates the building blocks for a massive construction project. Cemented together with injections of fast-freezing water, squares of ice weighing as much as half a ton each are assembled to celebrate the annual Ice Lantern Festival. The elaborate 40-foot-high structures become crystal palaces, complete with electrical wiring that transform them into shimmering illusions. For a moment, ordinary ice becomes a tower of precious jade. Created out of ice, a triumphant arch opens into a gallery of frozen art. For adults, the festival is a cultural occasion. For children, it's an opportunity to follow the leader through a maze or down a slide. As an art, ice sculpture on such a grand scale is a relatively new development in China. It is called silent poetry. For the artists, the effort is worth the reward, public recognition and the chance to win a prize. In the hands of artists, ice becomes fragile beauty. In nature, however, it can kill. In the Swiss Alps, avalanches of snow and ice strike without warning. To rescue victims buried under an avalanche, patrols probe and hope. The victim may still be alive, but in danger of suffocation. In the past, however, avalanches have been used deliberately to destroy lives. In World War I, Alpine troops were battered by an unusual barrage. Gunners were ordered to fire not at them, but at the slopes above them. Over 40,000 soldiers were killed by the man-made avalanches. Artillery is still used to start avalanches, but for a different reason. The shells cause slides that otherwise would happen without warning. To learn more about what causes avalanches, scientists take snow into the laboratory. There, they analyze moisture and temperature data in the hope of discovering how to predict and prevent avalanches. One of their recommendations is transforming some parts of the Swiss landscape. Miles of barriers made of wood, steel, and concrete have been anchored to dangerous mountainsides. When snow falls and ice forms, the mass is held safely in place. With slides prevented, skiers can once again take to the slopes in safety. In Alaska, a branch of the Yukon River remains a solid sheet of ice all winter, and Alaskans are willing to bet that they can predict the exact moment it will break up. Each prediction costs $2. It's called the Ice Classic, and it's an official statewide lottery. Over 100,000 wagers are made, collected and sorted from all around Alaska. Days in April are favored by most bettors. In past years, however, the thaw has come as late as mid-May. The winning moment will be determined by the movement of a tripod attached to a clock. When the ice melts enough for the tripod to move downriver 100 feet, the flags will fall and the tug of the rope will stop the clock. As warm spring weather approaches, every precaution is taken to ensure that no one interferes with the natural thawing process. The decisive moment nears when the tower will move, the flags will drop, and the clock will stop. The winning moment is 6:44 on April the 30th. After expenses, the payoff totals $106,000, confirming that in Alaska, it really is good news when the ice breaks up. For industry, freezing temperature can be made to order. We think ice is cold, but the liquid nitrogen in these tanks is 10 times colder. 320 degrees below zero. That's so cold that you have to wear protective glasses and gloves to work with it. There's some liquid nitrogen in this container. It's normally used for specialized industrial purposes, but its extreme low temperature has the strangest effects on the most ordinary objects. Take, for instance, this ball. Soft and bouncy. When you first put the ball in, its natural warmth makes the liquid nitrogen boil until the ball cools down. It takes about 15 seconds to get it down to 320 degrees below zero. And then the bouncing ball becomes as brittle as glass. Believe it or not.
If the snow and ice at the South Pole melted, the flood would destroy every coastal city on Earth. Believe it or not.
I smoke, but at many sporting events, it doesn't play. No problem. I just chew Wrigley Spearmint Gum. With such a cool, clean taste, it's something everyone can agree on. So when I can't smoke, I share some pure chewing satisfaction.
Sure, I love Dow's Smart Scrub. It rinses clean without the gritty residue. But what they need is a bleach formula for stains. Oh, never mind.
Presenting new Smart Scrub Cleanser with bleach.
Smart enough to clean up after itself.
Being married to a dentist, we're always getting free samples of toothpaste. But what do? I buy Mentadent.
Mentadent has all three ingredients dentists recommend most for the care of teeth and gums.
Fluoride, baking soda, and peroxide. These are the ingredients my husband recommends. On your toothbrush, into your mouth, as you're brushing, you can feel bubbles everywhere. Hundreds of bubbles all over your mouth, giving you a fresh, clean feeling. Mentadent's accepted by the American Dental Association. My husband would never recommend a product that wasn't.
Would you like to try new Snackwell cereal bars?
Oh, Snackwells for breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you only baked cookies.
Well, no. Give them a try.
Say, this is delicious.
I know.
Ooh, strawberry.
And they're the only cereal bar that's fat-free.
Terrific. Can I have another?
I'm sorry. I only have so many.
New fat-free Snackwell cereal bars. So good, can we ever make enough?
Yoo-hoo! Got any left for us?
No
If you want big, we mean big muffins that are moist and fluffy and chocolatey and this easy to bake. You want Duncan Hines' big new chocolate chip muffins. Duncan Hines, hot stuff.
I smoke, but at many fast food restaurants, it's not on the menu. So I've got an order of my own, Wrigley Spearmint Gum. It's got a cool, clean taste that everyone enjoys. So when I can't smoke, I enjoy pure chewing satisfaction.
You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Take 4 bizarre excursions. Where am I? Where one's only boundary is imagination. Where wishes come true.
Oh, my God.
And where nightmares become reality.
Can you imagine? A naked man crawling along the wing of an airplane at 35,000 feet.
Your next stop, Twilight Zone the movie. Thursday, June 1st at 9, 8 Central on USA.
Scare me.
I cannot live another day without air conditioning.
Says tomorrow's gonna be hotter.
Hotter?
Like yesterday.
Yesterday? Yesterday you said you'd call Sears.
I'll call today.
You call now.
I'll call now.
Now's the time to save on Sears installed central air conditioning. Get 0% finance charge, no billing, and no payments until August with the Sears Charge Home Improvement Plan. Call now for a free in-home estimate on a Kenmore air conditioning system. State-of-the-art engineering means greater energy efficiency. A new Kenmore could save 10 to 44% on your annual cooling costs. In time, even pay for itself. Sears also offers fast emergency installation, a 5-year warranty on parts and labor, plus our satisfaction guarantee. And you know Sears will be there to back it up. Get 0% finance charge, no billing, no payments until August. Offer ends May 31st, so call now and see the cool side of Sears.
So what's the paper say about tomorrow?
Another scorcher.
Cool.
In Houston, Texas, the Astro Village Hotel looks rather ordinary from the outside. The hotel is quite comfortable, but conventional for most of its 8 floors. It's the 9th that caused all the talk. Welcome to the Celestial Suite, all 13 rooms of it. At least one of them, I'm quite certain, offers just the atmosphere you'll find particularly suited to your pleasure. Here in the master suite, a Pompeian-style sauna suddenly melds into an English Baroque bedroom. This and the dozen other rooms that make up the Celestial Suite were built about 15 years ago by one Judge Roy Hofheinz. The suite, all of it, was once the judge's private residence. The Tarzan Suite, for those who have the nerve and the stamina. There are 2 levels here. I wonder what surprises might be lurking up there. Well, sometimes it's better not to intrude into the dark places. And there are other rooms in this amazing suite. Perhaps you'd be pleased by this Oriental suite. It reflects the silken sensuality developed over thousands of years of studious attention to the needs of the human animal. In an atmosphere such as this, your imagination is free to explore new ways of seeing and feeling. The Celestial has one more feature that distinguishes it from any other hotel accommodation in the world. It is just across the way from the Astrodome, which was also built by Judge Hofheinz. And he arranged things so that you can enjoy a game being played there in the luxurious comfort of your own mini-dome. Here, you and 300 of your closest friends can follow the action via exclusive closed-circuit television coverage. And these scoreboards are linked directly to the big ones overlooking the field. Not bad. Oh, if you're planning on coming to Houston soon, you can rent the Celestial Suite for a mere $3,000 a day. That makes it the most expensive hotel space in America, and that price does not include little extras like food and drink. Gracious living. Texas style. No matter where you live, building a dream house is a time-consuming business. except here in Traverse City, Michigan, where a team of craftsmen have set out to build a home in record time.
It'd be 37 3/4, really.
3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, start your hammers!
Only the concrete foundation was laid in advance. Everything else must be constructed on the site. To get the job done in record time, 180 skilled workmen had to move fast and stay out of each other's way. According to the plans, this is going to be a 3-bedroom ranch-style home. Under normal circumstances, it would take about 3 months to complete. Within hours, however, the electrical team installs the wiring while the finished roof is placed. To builders and architects, houses like this are called turnkey homes. When the dust settles, there should be nothing for the owner to do but unlock the door and move in.
6 hours, 48 minutes, and 31 seconds. We did it!
A record time and a proud accomplishment. An instant home worth $60,000. Being in a rush to get things done is not a style that appeals to the owner of this Houston, Texas home. Festooned with aluminum cans, it's a glittering landmark that has taken years of work and hundreds of gallons of beer and soft drinks to create. An otherwise ordinary house, it now shimmers in the sun because of the creative efforts of John Milkovich. A retired railroad man, his garage has been converted into a workshop bedecked with a mosaic of brand-name trademarks. John, however, admits to no preference. He buys any brand that's on sale. Using a linoleum knife and other simple tools, he cuts and shapes the cans until they match what he calls just one of those dreams in the back of my noodle.
See, I punch this hole on 2 sides, braid it.
The result is a continuous strip, light, colorful, and strong.
See, that's pretty stuff.
John's dedication to the decoration of his home is motivated by a private dream and will continue as long as an empty space exists.
Like Will Rogers always says, do something so people remember you.
The Eiffel Tower. Today it's acknowledged as one of the world's most beautiful sights. But when it was being built, it was called useless and monstrous, a barbarous mass, an odious skeleton of bolted metal. For years after the tower was finished, many Parisians considered it an eyesore and longed for a view of the skyline uncluttered by the new structure. Just the kind of view that was possible from a charming apartment located in one of the few places of Paris where you can't see the Eiffel Tower. It's perched up here, at the top of the structure Gustav Eiffel built. This is one of the most uniquely situated apartments in the world. It was designed and occupied by Eiffel himself. Originally, there were two other rooms, a bathroom and a bedroom. They were done away with in order to build elevators to accommodate the hordes of admiring tourists who flocked to the top of the tower that was once called Mr. Eiffel's disgraceful skeleton. Believe it or not. In Tunis, Tunisia, the Hotel du Lac was built to resemble an upside-down staircase. Believe it or not.
If you can't find the Terminix number...
Where's that number?
Just remember 1-800-TERMINX for any bug problem.
I know I have that number.
Nobody offers a better guarantee. So stop looking and start dialing. Nobody bugs bugs like Terminix.
Pollen, smog, dust. Known causes of itchy, burning eyes. The answer? Clear Eyes ACR. Soothing, cooling, allergen relief. From Clear Eyes.
You can follow your recipe through the letter, but for the crispiest, juiciest chicken, you need a really great oil. That is why I only use Crisco. You can trust Crisco to get chicken crispy outside, juicy inside, every time. The taste is so light, never heavy, never oily. And you know Crisco is 100% pure vegetable oil. To be sure your chicken is crispy, make sure your oil is Crisco.
Naked windows? Come to the J.C. Penney window covering sale, where you'll find drapes, blinds, and other attractive window dressings at very decent prices. The window covering sale.
J.C. Penney! Right now, J.C. Penney is having a white sale, a blue sale, even a pink sale. With so many items for your bed and bath, it's our most colorful sale. The J.C. Penney white sale. Hurry in and save a little green.
So rich and creamy.
Say, Grandpa.
So lightly baked.
Grandpa.
No wonder no other cracker melts like a Ritz.
Mommy?
Ritz melts so good.
Sure, I have secrets. Of course, some are juicier than others. Like my secret for onion burgers. Lipton Recipe Secrets Onion. A delicious blend of toasted onion and seasonings. Lipton Recipe Secrets. I'm a better cook with it than without it.
Return to the beginning and witness how legends are born. The Sci-Fi Channel's third annual Pilot Playhouse, June 3rd and 4th, beginning at 7 p.m.
When my daughter had trouble learning fractions...
You really helped.
Sure. I got her Math Made Easy's Fractions videotape. It's the easy, step-by-step way to help your child learn fractions.
Used by educators all over America, the Math Made Easy Fractions tape is like having a private tutor at your side. From finding common denominators to comparing, adding, and multiplying fractions. Review what you need to learn anytime you want. Join the thousands of students who have gained confidence using Math Made Easy's Fractions. Order Math Made Easy's Fractions now. Call 1-800-928-MATH for your Fractions videotape and workbook. Parents and grandparents, now's the time to help a student in your family.
Or kids, ask for the tape yourselves.
It can work for you.
Who says fractions have to be hard?
Order Math Made Easy's Fractions now and get a free Fractions workbook. Math Made Easy's Fractions comes with a money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-928-MATH. That's 1-800-928-MATH.
Money. It goes from hand to hand, and there's just no telling exactly where it's been. In a vending machine or in the gutter. When you think about it, money is a pretty unsanitary way of doing business. But unsanitary or not, most of us will take it any way we can. Except Arnold Batliner. For the last 22 years, Mr. Batliner's job has been to see to it that guests here at San Francisco's St. Francis Hotel never have to handle filthy lucre. His job is to launder the money. The washing machine used by Mr. Batliner originally was designed to polish silverware. It uses ordinary soap and water, plus small metallic balls as an abrasive. Once tumbled inside the cylinder for an hour and a half, the coins emerge in mint-like condition. Washing money as a way to make a living is a tradition that began here at the St. Francis Hotel back in the days when no self-respecting lady would be seen in town without a hat and gloves. The money in circulation then, mostly silver dollars, tended to soil their gloves. And no self-respecting lady would be seen in soiled gloves either. So, to keep the ladies happy and presumably the gentlemen as well, the hotel assigned a man to keep the money clean. Thank you, Mr. Batliner. Smudge-free money. But clean or dirty, it's what most of us work for. And some people earn their wages in some rather unusual ways. Nestled in the Austrian Alps, a few miles from Salzburg, lies the small town of Hallstatt, a community with a problem. Their tiny cemetery is so overcrowded that one man, Valentin Edam, has the full-time job of recycling the occupants of available graves. For centuries, the village has made room for the newly dead by removing the bones of the long departed. To compensate for disturbing the repose of their dead, Valentin gives special treatment to those he has evicted. Now, the second and most important part of Valentin's job as the official grave digger begins. The departed loved one has been deprived of the traditional memorial, so in the absence of a headstone, the skull itself becomes the memorial. With the help of Valentin's special talent, a new epitaph is inscribed. The date is recorded, and a symbol created to adorn each skull. Flowers for women, a sprig of ivy for men. Valentin's work does not end until those crowded out of their graves have found their final resting place. The remains of Hallstatt's honored dead are placed in a special crypt where they will be remembered by name and preserved with dignity for all time. Some things are worth preserving, some are not, and few have done more to send harmful insects to their death than this man. Thomas Tuttle of the S.C. Johnson Insecticide Research Lab in Wisconsin specializes in eliminating bugs. The lab is home to more than 10 million roaches and other insects utilized in a series of lethal experiments. The development of new chemicals to use against them is the daily concern of 26 scientists. In this experiment, roaches are led over a surface treated with insecticide. After their brief stroll, they are stunned with carbon dioxide gas, so later studies can determine the poison's effectiveness. A specially built nest recreates the natural environment in which roaches breed and multiply. By close study of their life cycles and their feeding habits, researchers are able to devise more effective methods of controlling them. A nest of roaches can triple its population every 2 weeks. Thomas Tuttle supervises the destruction of over 30 different species of insects. This special chamber was designed for the study and execution of one of the most destructive and potentially dangerous of them all, the common housefly. For accurate testing, each fly must be the same age, so they are being bred constantly, with 30 to 40,000 available every day. The amount of insecticide admitted into the chamber is carefully determined by its type and the size of the room. The insecticide is removed from the room by exhaust fans in preparation for the next phase of the experiment. As he removes the dead flies, he makes an accurate count of those still flying or moving on the floor. Further study will be done on the corpses of the flies for a complete picture of the effectiveness of the substance being tested. Of all of man's insect enemies, none may be more despised than the mosquito. It is one of the few species that feed directly on human blood. To gather information on their feeding habits, Thomas Tuttle submits his own flesh to their attack. It's the most effective way to get the research data he needs. Tests conducted on laboratory insects may result in new ways to control mosquitoes that spread deadly disease. For over 30 years, Thomas Tuttle has worked to control harmful insects, and with good reason. Scientists say that because insects reproduce so rapidly, they can develop resistance to almost any chemical man can devise. Knowledge of their habits, their life cycles, and their defense systems is vital information worth whatever it takes to get it. An ordinary kitchen match, a handy item to have around the house. But to make sure that they always do what they're supposed to do, somebody has to test them. And in Oswego, New York, back in the 1940s, that man was Bert Wilkinson. He was the quality control expert for a major match manufacturer. If all it took was one puff to put out the fire, Mr. Wilkinson would reject it as too weak. If it took 3 puffs, it was too strong and potentially dangerous. A 2-puffer, however, was the perfect match. It created a blaze that would stay lit in a light breeze, but go out safely with a second puff. To qualify for the job, Mr. Wilkinson had 2 things: 10 years' experience as a matchmaking chemist, and the ability to pucker up and blow out as many as 3,000 matches a day. Believe it or not.
Words. For novelists, words are their stock in trade. And in their private correspondence, sometimes they choose not to waste them. On one occasion, in fact, a writer wrote a letter without using a single word. His name was Victor Hugo, the famous author of Les Miserables and other classics. When Monsieur Hugo didn't hear promptly from his publisher when he inquired about the sales of that particular novel, he dispatched this note. The brief note motivated an instant reply. After all, the book was selling well, on its way to becoming a classic. So, his publisher sent Hugo this by return mail. The shortest letters ever written. Believe it or not.
He's
He's won more Oscars than Hollywood's biggest stars by creating Hollywood's biggest special effects. Meet 8-time Oscar winner Dennis Muren on the Sci-Fi Channel's next Masters of Fantasy, Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Now stay tuned for Dark Shadows next on the Sci-Fi Channel.